Welcome aboard, everyone. Simon here from the Wells Wall Street. Hope you're doing fantastically well wherever you are in the world. Before we go into the chart, we're just going to take a few updates on the world, the world goings on, and also the relation to this in terms of tokenomics. Now, guys, I want to make it clear, like I've said about Agenda 30 many times, and this is not a conspiracy theory, it's a real document. You can go and download it off the UN website. That's what it was created for. As well as links with the World Health Organization, World Economic Forum, the Davos Agenda. They're all real things. Go and check them out. It's really interesting, to be honest, because there's a lot about transformation of digital currency, sustainability, diversification, all of this stuff that you're seeing in the news left, right and centre. I don't watch the news, but I hear snippets, of course. And it's all part of the plan, guys. The latest thing is, of course, big climate change issues going on, whether you believe them or not. We are here with a problem that is being pushed to us in media everywhere. Okay, so what's the next thing? The UK is going on about now. CO2 shortages threatening UK meat supplies, record gas prices. What's going on with the energy sector, guys? I'm telling you now. I said about a year and a half ago to a load of people that I know. So guaranteeing to you, there's gonna be a blackout. It's not going to be a blackout because the sun's done a big solar flare. They might blame it on that. But there's going to be a big political warfare potentially. But also driving a problem with a solution that they've already got so they can put it into place, look like the hero, and then we all think it's brilliant. And we all think it's normal. Okay? I'm not going to go in massive detail, of course, last year. But let's just rewind ourselves. How many people were against like privacy, in terms of recognition of facial recognition, biometrics, this and the other, blah, blah, blah. Smartphones, of course, have taken over our lives. Now, all of a sudden, our banks are disappearing left, front, centre. We can only get access through the app. It's in the crypto world, told wherever we can and cannot spend our money on various exchanges, etc. That's just the beginning. This is all a testing program for human beings the last few years. I'm telling you now. It's all interlinked. Ask yourself questions. Always ask questions about the world that you live in, people around you. Do not be afraid to have thoughts and opinions, irrespective of whether you're allowed to put them on social media or not these days, because of this, that, and the other. It's important to question everything, and that's what I do all the time. Agenda 30 was a document signed around 2016 by multiple countries, over 160, I think, worldwide. Key goals and targets for the year 2030, and a lot of it was around many aspects that we covered, and we've already talked about blockchain and how tokenomics will work and how AI and IoT can be delivered in that. Look, go and check out the IOTA video that I've done recently, as well as others. I love AI and IoT application and technology in some principles, and I know what it's going to do. But that doesn't stop there. The algorithm of AI, everything that you do from an autonomous automation perspective, anything and everything you do, internet-based, lifestyle-based, will become essentially integrated within blockchain technology. Okay, so energy is no different. We've talked about EWT, Energy Web Token, many times, many videos, and we've talked about it in the sense of how is it applicable and this, that, and the other. Guys, these things don't happen by coincidence. These are all happening at the correct, similar times for one particular reason, and that is towards the agenda or program of the world. Arguably, and this isn't conspiracy theory, I'm just putting thoughts out there, for the mechanism of control, because everything will be on smartphones essentially very soon. Sensors within you think I'm joking, I'm not. There's patents for it. Microsoft have one for the human sensor, and Visa have a biometrics patent going through right now in terms of the US government. So happy days coming. Moving away from smartphones, maybe that's a good thing because less radiation, who knows. But the principle of the matter is that everything that you can think of is going to be related into a similar system. We've always talked about the smart grid and things like that in the past. This is the kind of system that is going to bring it all together. Okay, so take a look, do your own research, think about it. In that aspect, think about all the different channels that this technology can go down. Energy itself is a big conversation around at the moment. Look at it. Look at these leading titles. Weak winds, dwindling reserves, geopolitical nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Energy crisis, what's going to happen? Is your gas, your electricity going to go mental? Are we going to go into a blackout? It's almost a typical narrative, to be honest. Like this is all leading towards the tokenomics of energy tokens like Energy Web Token. Okay, This is all about the way that we become more efficient, more economical with our utilities. Probably they're even trying to shut some of them down. We're talking about multi-billion companies, most of them abroad from the UK, of course. The aspect of trying to bring down regions of the world. Think if everyone stopped, all of a sudden stopped buying petrol and oil, what's going to happen to the countries that are supplying it? There's all a big political warfare essentially going on all the time. What if your supply goes bust? What is this? So literally, like the tokenomics, as we mentioned before, it's a kind of really good thing, really, in the sense, because we're in a centralized world most of the time, and utility services, internet services are all centralized, right? If, for example, a server goes down, your internet goes down. There's nothing to do about it. But with decentralization, with that peer-to-peer mechanism and tokenomics, you're able to bypass the problems using machine-to-machine learning as well, and algorithm and AI, to bypass and obtain internet some other way through the power of someone else's, so through various other channels of communication. That's what smart contracts and that's what blockchain is all about. And it's the same with the energy. If, for example, I've got too much energy, I can pass it to someone else and sell it off, make some money out of it. Not to the company that's provided in the first place, because they already make loads of money. They already dictate what my prices are and this, that, and the other. By the way, again, back to that aspect of AI, algorithm and blockchain, prices of everything won't be manipulated by companies anymore. It will be manipulated by algorithm of supply and demand through a whole entire mechanism that will be more beneficial to you as a person and give you more power, because you can decide what you do with it. If you have excess, what do you do with it? Pass it to someone else. Oh, your mate's power's gone down. Go and send it to him. Easy. It's all on the same grid eventually. Trust me, it's coming. So there's all these great aspects of it as well. But it's more importantly is about bringing the power back to the people. Energy Web Token, that's what it's all about, is this kind of aspect of that. They've got a multitude of partners, of course, already that are trying to pile onto this before it's too late. They want to be a piece of this. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, we covered this in multiple videos before, so go and check those out, previous ones about the actual blockchain technology that these companies do, like Energy Web Token. There's POWR is another really good one. There's loads of energy tokens out there trying to achieve the same thing. And of course, you've got new developments recently with the likes of doing things with the Californian grid, building programs with as well the likes of Sustainable Planet, tokenizing energy, which I've just mentioned. Go and check this website out, numbers.com, without the E in it. So there's loads of cool information here as to how it's going to obtain, why has it come about, this, that, and the other. California Grid, so they brought out this new system of leveraging Energy Web Token, leveraging energy and moving it about as you please, taking away the control or more control away from the companies, these grids, these powerhouses of utilities that have so much control over you that you start panicking when it gets to winter because you're worried about what the bills are going to do and this, that, and the other. Or actually, you're putting my prices up, but I don't actually use that much, but someone else does use more and is on less. It's about a fairer system, So legacy demand flexibility systems, this is what it's all about. This is what it's leading to. So that's when I go back to these questions, guys. Always question everything, because isn't it a coincidence that all these things are happening at the same time? This bit in here, UK meat supplies. The supply chain in the UK at the moment is shocking. Brexit conveniently happened at the same time as all of this in the last 2 years. Obviously Brexit was pre-planned, but can you not question the timing of everything? Do you not think these guys have a plan? Of course they do, because it was all generated around the same time that I've just mentioned as this same agenda that we just talked about. Go and download it and read it and tell me I'm wrong. Honestly, it's all in there. You can literally plan your life for the next 9 years and see how to get out of this system and get yourself out of this mess. I can anticipate a big house crash coming at some point. There's no doubt in my mind. Everything, anything, inflation. And then comes the big catalyst of transition to digital currency, blockchain, removal of most banks. We're in a new world, guys. The fourth industrial revolution is on our doorstep. And I think it's fascinating. And I love it. I used to be scared. I used to be worried. Now I just see opportunity. Okay, and even if you don't have much money, I don't have massive amounts of money, but you've got enough in there to go, I can change my life. Honestly, it's not financial advice, but I think that this is so early and so many things are coming. Honestly, it's going to be humongous. And the other thing about this meat thing, right? Not many people know this, but as we were all distracted, of course, last year with multiple things, the UK put an agricultural bill through. They gave farmers something like 24 hours to respond, and obviously no one really heard about it. And then all of a sudden, it got passed through. No objection from public because they didn't know about it. And this is to basically essentially reduce farming in the UK to keep importing without the qualities that the British standard has been. Not that I think meat's great quality anywhere, because they've pumped paracetamol and all sorts of nonsense in it. But it's all part of the plan. Anyway, we're going on a tangent. Let's go to EWT. Let's go into the chart. So before we do that, if you find this video informative or loopy, press that like button, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and hit that bell button as well if you want notifications of all the great videos. I hope they're great for you. I find them great in the future. So let's take a look. We hit one of our buy points. I wasn't anticipating it to hit within this day, and I think I said that in the B Pro video earlier as well. I wasn't anticipating a gradual drop before we could test that support line and back up again. So that's great. I did sell off a couple of EWT a few weeks back around this sort of area here. So it's good. It's not a humongous difference, but like it all counts, right? So can we go lower? Yes is the answer, in the sense that I'm not saying it will definitely, but you've got to look at historic data around these sort of periods. We do have a lot of activity around this area, so it's in my opinion unlikely, and I'm hoping that this is a test of this support level that we saw back here around that sort of $8.96, and that we push back up, because EWT is going to be humongous as the years go on. I'm not even joking around here. I can see like Elon Musk taking it on or something. Do you know what I mean? But this rise here, I just want to pinpoint this rise and why these corrections and taking profits along the way are really important aspects to think about. I always reiterating this in videos. I don't want to just do hype videos and watch things go up. I want to look at opportunities on the way down for you guys and myself as well. So in this period of time, from around the 20th-ish of July, we're at $4.50, mental. 264% increase up until this recent point of 23rd of August. That took us up to around $15, not quite at the all-time highs that we had over 20, I believe it was, earlier in the year. So we drew this fan in anticipating that we would come down to these potential areas. We did start doing that, and unfortunately, of course, we had today, I think it was Bitcoin driven, no doubt, probably. So on this way, we've had a couple of correction periods. We had this one we drew in previously, 34% reduction already, off that big point there. And I'm just going to draw another line in here. So we take that top point at $16, drop it to where it is now. Obviously, when you might watch this, it might be slightly different. So I'm going to go slightly lower because I do believe we're retracing still. So let's say $9. That's 43%, guys. So in my opinion, things usually go between 30 and 70. And I've said in previous videos, that sounds like a big broad spectrum, okay? But in my opinion, that is opportunities, several opportunities throughout that big percentage opportunity area to take buy-ins, yeah? So put some potential buy-in positions, okay? So we've got that one. I only put one in there because personally, I was only interested in that. If it goes lower, so be it. I've done what I needed to do. That's not to say that everyone else is the same. Like I said, I would anticipate potential area around here, around the 7.5, because of this activity around here. You see there's lots of drop points, and statistically data driven here, particularly around this kind of area. It was of great interest. So 7.5-ish cents, maybe just above that, 7.60 cents. I think may be a good opportunity. In fact, I will draw that in there for you guys now, just so you know can see what I'm talking about. So that could be a potential interesting area. Okay, I'm not saying it will definitely come there, but still the MACD is in a bearish momentum. We were getting some narrowing, and we pinpointed yesterday as a potential dive down. Of course, it was accelerated by other market trends as well. The RSI is on 36, so if someone said to me, Simon, is this a good time to buy? This is not financial advice, but in my opinion, if I was not holding EWT and I missed all the previous opportunities, as well as knowing that we are going into potentially the big bull run, of course, around to November, December, I do think this is a good area, and you are reducing the risk. That's the most important thing. Of course, it could still come down, but you're reducing the risk massively, as if you were compared to doing here. Now, obviously we can see this, but I'm talking about in hindsight on the RSI. You wouldn't buy at 80. You'd be silly to do that because we're already at a high spectrum based on the volumes kicking in from the last 14 days, which would have taken us to around here. And you can see that big rise. So you can anticipate this quite easy. When you get to like the midpoints of the RSI, it's always a bit in limbo. You don't know where it's quite going, but it doesn't mean that it's not pumping in volumes of this and over, because we had this period here, you see, we had a slight rise up to that 60 point, but you still got to be slightly cautious because we're on an algorithm of, what's actually going to happen. At the moment, the histogram was showing some pale areas, which means that the softening was happening of volumes being sold. Well, of course, the last couple of days have shown a bit more of a move down to that side. So I'm keeping this area in mind. It's not for me personally, but maybe for you guys as an opportunity. But like I said, even at this stage, I think this is, again, not financial advice, but it's reduced the risk massively, okay, as opposed to buying up here, for example. So we've got a long way to go on this. Where can EWT go? That is a big question, which I was going to cover in the next video, but I just wanted to pinpoint a couple of things here. In fact, if I just draw that back out to our previous all-time high up here at 23, what could EWT go to? Well, on the fib retracement level, we do have various levels. I would anticipate, to be honest, around $50 being really realistic, but this is suggesting that it could well push up to over 80. So what I want to see, guys, and I'll do a proper one in the next video, let's see how we stabilize over the next 48 hours or the next 2-3 days. And I'll guarantee to you by the end of this week, I will have an update video for you. Check on the chart status after these last few days, and we'll do a proper price prediction for you. I'll get a proper analysis done of why we think that as well. But as mentioned, guys, once we've had this correction, which will end soon, I'm sure by the end of this month and into October, we'll start rising again. And I do anticipate, to be fair, that by the end of October, we should be hitting that all-time high area again. Take profits along the way, okay, for the structure of on the way down as well, but also just for your general bags, take profits along the way. You do not know where the top is, okay? Anything can happen. So reduce your risk. Year to date, we are 47% up, 35% down on the 6 month, but that is understandable because we still got this big dip pattern here included in the data. 12% down on the week. But like I said, I do anticipate this to drop back, and hopefully we'll start coming back up to this kind of area here where we closed off previously about maybe 9.5 cents. If we do that, I think we're going to have a bit of a stronger momentum pulling this back upwards, okay? But if this momentum continues and we remain at these kind of levels, we may come down and test this potential area around 7.5, okay? Let's see how this plays out, guys. I'm going to wrap that up there. We'll do another video at the end of the week. We'll do a bit more knowledge based around energy tokens as well, including some other assets we'll have included as well. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video, and hopefully our lights have not blacked out. Bye-bye.